Alright, what's up guys, it's Heat. I had some requests to do a video on leveling, fast leveling. I had some friends on my friends list who saw me do the 1 week Nemesis race, and I leveled really fast actually during that race. I hit level 50 around 8.5 hours, and then I hit level 73 around 24 hours, something like that. That's pretty fast. There are people that can do it faster, but that's still pretty top tier leveling right there. So I wanted to make a video on how I construct, like, my thought process around fast leveling in a macro and micro strategy sense. So let's go ahead and start. So on the macro level, we'll just see what regions, what areas I grind in, and what my progression looks like. So in normal Act 1, I don't grind anywhere. I just do normal progression. I don't do any of the side quests. One thing to note is all the side quests, I usually, because the areas are higher level and a little bit more dangerous, unless your character's gear is better than normal, I usually wait to do the side quests because you can knock them out faster when you're a higher level. And you don't necessarily need all of them. Like, for example, you don't need Fetid Pool, the respec points, so you can do that when you're Merciless level 60 and destroy that area in like 10 seconds or something. So that's why I don't do side areas, with the exception of a few. So normal progression in Act 1 normal, Act 2 normal, normal progression again, I don't grind at all. If you feel like you need to grind, I like to grind Chamber of Sins. I think that's the best place to grind because of the guaranteed blue packs that spawn in the corners of the map. But otherwise, normal progression. I will do the side quest here for the extra passive skill point, and then I just go to Act 3. In Act 3, this is the first time that I actually do grind to level a little bit. I grind City of Sarn until level 27, and then I do normal progression. If you're uncomfortable with progressing at level 27, you can do docks until 32 and then go ahead and progress. So that's what normal difficulty looks like. So just normal progression, grind until at City of Sarn until level 27, and then normal progression. In Cruel, I grind ledge until level 37 if I'm not at level 37 by then. Then I go to Act 2. In Act 2, I will grind the Southern Forest until level 40 if I am not level 40 by then. So a lot of people like to grind Fell Shrine here or Chamber of Sins. I don't know if people still do Western, but I think that doing Southern Forest is actually the best and fastest way to level, and also the safest. The mob density is insane. The monkeys don't do a lot of damage, and it's pretty straightforward. It's the path isn't confusing. It's like a straight path similar to ledge, so you can farm it very quickly. That's why I prefer that one. In Act 3, I will grind City of Sarn until level 46 and do normal progression. Just a note on Scepter doing Dominus in Act 2 Act 3 Cruel, I'm sorry. That's probably the hardest fight and the most difficult thing you will have to do up until this point. So just be aware of that. Act 3, I grind ledge until level 53. Then I go ahead and progress and grind Southern Forest until 57, 58. And then I go ahead and do Vol. And so, just as a note, so this is my pace, and I don't know if a lot of people can do this pace. Like, I don't know if people are going to do Vol at level like 59, under 60, maybe even 58. So that's just you know, a word of advice, I guess. Is like, it depends on how comfortable you are with the game, your knowledge of the game. So I've been playing this game for a long time. I have a lot of hours, probably over 1,500 hours played, and I understand enemy patterns. I understand when to play aggressive, when not to play aggressive. So that also allows me to actually progress at this level. So I don't know if everyone can do it, but this is actually what I do. And so when I get to City of Sarn, I grind it for a long time. I actually grind it probably until 67, and then I move on to docks till till 70, something like that. And then I test out catacombs and move on to doing Piety Lunaris runs until level 77, something like that, and then I do maps. So in between 70 to 77, I actually look to make a transition into what my actual build is. Another thing on the macro strategy sense, I don't party with people unless I actually know that they're really good. So I have right now maybe 2-3 people that I only party with. When they're not on, I always play by myself because I feel that most people in parties are not that good and they don't know how to optimize their leveling build well, so they will be doing a lot less DPS and they will slow you down when you grind and when you progress. So that's just a personal preference, but I think that's what allows me also to level very quickly. When my friends are on, they are very good, they're very experienced, and they are on the same level as I am in terms of clearing and progressing. So those are two aspects of the macro strategy sense that I use, and I will show you one more. This is kind of self-explanatory, but I thought I would go over it anyway. So when you're leveling, make sure you plan out your build. This is very important, and then once you plan out your build, you want to take a look at the pathing of the build to see what leveling build supplements your endgame build very well. So in the next leagues that are coming up in 7 days, which I'm pretty hype about, oh yeah, so I'm going to be doing a dual flame totem build. So it's going to look something like this: ancestral bond, etc. Going up here. I haven't really finalized this build because they are changing the middle part around here between the Templar and the Marauder. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do with that, but we'll find out, and I'll have to optimize the build once that comes out. But in general, and for example purposes, this is what the build will look like. Now, with this knowledge, what I think about is what is going to complement, what leveling build is going to complement this. So I think Leap Slam is a really good and fast leveling build, and you can scale damage well. So throughout the course of the game, you're given 18 respec points, and I don't use I limit my use of currency, so I don't want to use any more than 18 because I'll have to use a regret, and I want to save that to sell, right? So given that, I think Leap Slam with maces would be the most optimal leveling build. So my 4-link with Leap Slam would look like Leap Slam, faster attacks, added fire or melee physical, whichever you prefer, and then probably endurance charge on stun. And because we're going to be doing maces and there's going to be a lot of stunning and stun threshold reduction and stuff like that, so I have 18 skill points to work with. It would probably look something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Resolute technique, because you don't want your Leap Slam to miss and you always want to leech life. So what did I have here? 3 plus 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. Life leech, because that's absolutely important in a melee build. So that's 10. And then I would probably do something like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, if you want to spend some more, maybe one extra, this is pretty good, 20, you would only have to spend 1 regret. So that is probably what I would level with, and at this point, I have leveled with leap slam before, and my DPS was pretty high with an okay mace, two-handed mace. Alright, so the other thing about, the last thing about the macro strategy is you want to plan out what gems you're going to take and know ahead of time. And the Marauder has everything I need. If you look, there's Warlord's Mark, that's a good one. Added Fire, Stun. There's Hatred that you'll want to run. And then the other important thing is, like, I think, in my opinion, the Marauder and the Templar have the best quest rewards because they get a lot of reduced mana gems, and those can sell for 2 chaos. So when you're first leveling in a new league, it's important to have as much currency as possible. So you have a lot of free currency here. There's something like 5 or 6 reduced mana. I don't know reduced mana specifically, but also Life Leech, which can sell for 2, 1 chaos. So you have a lot of gems there that you can sell for currency that will help. So that's, in a sense, my macro strategy to leveling. It's pretty basic. The only thing is if you can actually execute at that level. Doing stuff at such low levels requires a lot of knowledge of the game, so it's up in the air whether you can do that or not. Now, in terms of the micro strategy sense, it's kind of hard to explain. There are 2 aspects to it. One is easy to explain, which I'll show you right now. One is managing vendor recipes. So one thing that I do is I will take a mace. There is a vendor recipe here with a rustic sash, a blacksmith whetstone, and a weapon. And so, depending on the rarity of the rustic sash, you will get a certain amount of IPD. It says 20 to 89 increased physical damage. So if you roll a white one, a white rustic sash, it'll be low. A magic one will be higher, and a rare yellow one will be the highest one that you can possibly get. So what I do is I actually save high superior weapons, and I toss them in my stash, and I use them to sell them for whetstone. So I will sell, I think it's 40% quality total. So if you sell 2 weapons that are 20%, then you will get 1 whetstone back. It's paramount that you do this. It's very important. Always have whetstones. The weapon that I use this recipe on, I will quality up to 20% before actually using this recipe, and then roll this. After you roll it, you will only get 1 stat, which is IPD. So you can use an augmentation to roll something good. If you're lucky, you will get physical, or a flat physical roll, or an attack speed roll, which would be absolutely awesome. This strategy worked all the way through Merciless, because of the way the build is structured, because of how good Leap Slam is, because of how I play the game, etc. This will suffice as a leveling strategy throughout the game, so you don't actually need to spend currency on weapons. And if you want to spend currency on a really good mace, you will have that ability, because you're going to have all those reduced manas that you can sell for 2 chaos. In the end, you should have around 10 chaos, 10 pure chaos that you can buy a killer 2-handed mace with. So that is one important recipe that I would take note of. Another one is, for this build, you don't really need movement speed on your boots, because you will the Leap Slam works, has, you know, multiple utility uses, so you traverse quickly with it, so you don't need to actually have movement speed on your boots. However, if you're playing a build that does not have a skill like Leap Slam, then I highly recommend getting move speed on your boots, because it helps you grind faster, it helps you clear faster. So there is another recipe here where you trade in a Quicksilver, a white pair of boots, and an orb of augmentation, and then you will be able to use another orb, I think, to roll another stat on it. So this is very good. The other I guess maybe this isn't a micro strategy, but in a macro strategy sense, I don't actually buy any upgrades until, and this is maybe until I have to do Cruel Dominus area. If I'm lucky, I have good enough items, and if I'm not lucky, then maybe I'll buy some things, but it depends. Like, I'm able to play the game without, because of my understanding, I'm able to play the game with mostly magic blue items, and not have to buy anything until probably Merciless Vol. So I wouldn't spend any currency until then. That helps you level faster, because in the end you will be able to spend currency on actual good items in Merciless difficulty, which will in turn help you level faster. The other micro strategy sense is how you actually grind. So a lot of people like to full clear. So this is kind of hard to explain. It just depends how efficiently you grind. So efficiently grinding is, for example, not killing like a pack of 1 or 2. You skip over them and you go. Maybe rounding up a lot of enemies and then killing them. And you also always want to maintain flow. So this is actually hard to verbalize. So I would actually look at streamers who do races to see how they efficiently grind, because racing is all about how fast you can grind. For example, you get to City of Sarn, you get to docks. See what strategies they use. I have some videos up there of some demi runs that where I've gotten first place with the Ranger a couple times, and a lot of them where I've gotten top 3. So you can take a look at that. But there are other top racers like Terex, like Cobalt. I don't know if he puts videos up. Uber Clips is another guy who does really good. So you can see what strategies they use, when they attack, when they choose not to attack, how they round up enemies, how they create flow to maximize their enemy killing. So that helps with actually leveling really quick. So you want to pay attention to that, check out some videos on that, and that'll help you level fast. So that is basically my fast leveling guide, if you will. If you have any questions, you can just let me know. If I missed anything, just again let me know and I'll try to address it. Alright, cool. Thanks, guys.